Welcome, you're in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 17, National Football League. For one of these teams, there's no bigger game than this game in week number 17. A lot of things needed to happen, and they all happened, and all they had to do was win. Simply win to fully take advantage of all the opportunities that have been bestowed upon them, and they were in the postseason. And it was a long shot. Just 3 weeks ago. I'm talking about the San Diego Superchargers. San Diego Superchargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. But Chiefs don't have anything to play for. They're locked into the number 5 seed. They're going to be playing against the Indianapolis Colts on the road in Wild Card Weekend. They don't have anything to play for. So instead of risking injury, they went with the and it's all about the R's. When it comes down to the end of the season and you don't have much to play for, it's all about the R's. Which one are you going with? You going with risk or you going with rust? They went on the side of rust and they said, hey, we'll take the rust over the risk. We're not messing with the risk. We don't want guys getting injured. We'll risk the rust and just make sure that our guys are healthy. We're not putting our Pro Bowlers out there. We're not putting guys out there that don't need to be out there. So no Alex Smith, no Jamal Charles, no Dwayne Bowe, and no Derek Johnson on the defensive side of football. No Dontari Poe. You know, none of the guys that are household names. No Eric Berry, no Brandon Flowers. None of those guys played in this football game. The Chiefs had 8 Pro Bowlers. None of them suited up in this game. And a couple of more guys that didn't make the Pro Bowl didn't suit up in this game either. And so there are a lot of starters missing from the field in this ball game. And if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, that made you cringe before this game started because you're like, hey, we just want a shot. We did what we needed to do, and a lot of things have fallen into place already, and we just need this one last thing to happen. And it'd be nice if you would give us the opportunity to make the postseason. But again, you don't get the right to ask and beg and plead somebody to do your dirty work for you. If you put yourself in a position at the season's end to need help, beggars can't be choosers. You don't get to beg and plead for someone to play their starters. You get what you get at the end of the season. And if you put yourself in a position where you need help, then good luck with the help that you get. So Steelers, nobody wants to hear them complaining about the Chiefs sitting and resting starters. They earned the right to do that, and you need help. That's your problem, not mine. So Kansas City, from their standpoint, nothing to play for here. Let's stick the reserves in the game and see what they have to offer. And if you're San Diego, that brings a huge smile to your face because let's set the table. Let's go back in the archives and go back in the timeline and figure out how did we get here with the San Diego Superchargers in week number 17 with the chance to win and get in. So let's flash back to week 15. You're 7-7 at this point. And I looked at the Chargers and I said, and these were my exact words, you're the best team equipped to make it into the postseason at 7-9. You're the best team. You've got the most going for you at this time. Or you were 7-6, excuse me, going into week 15. I said you've got the most going for you at this time. You're a solid club, but or you were 6-7. Sometimes you can get these records all jacked up. You were 6-7. And I said, honestly, you're playing the best football of anybody. The Ravens, the Dolphins, you're the better of those teams. Phillip Rivers is playing at a high level. Ryan Matthews playing, to me, his best football of his career. This defense is starting to come around. They're not the best, but they're not the worst either. You're playing your best football of the season at the right time. Oh, it sucks. You got to go to Denver on Thursday night. You're not beating the Broncos, so you're not getting into the postseason because I said whoever wins that 6th seed is going to be 9-7. And at the time, I just felt like the Dolphins had everything going for them, and they finished up with the Bills on the road and the Jets at home. And if they could go to Pittsburgh and win, and they ultimately did, they were going to get that sixth and final seed, finishing 9-7. And I just felt like you had to have too much happen in your favor if you're the Chargers, including winning on the road in Denver, something no one else has been able to do this season. Yet, on Thursday Night Football, you show up, you go to Denver, you play defense, you smack Peyton Manning around a little bit, and you win the football game. And that one opened my eyes. I go, wow, San Diego really wants to make the postseason. And I already had said that you were the best equipped team to be the 6th seed, to actually make a little bit of noise when you get into the postseason. But problem is, you're not going to be able to get in. There's too many things that have to happen. But you took care of number one, which is winning in Denver. I mean, that was the biggest obstacle stopping you from getting in to the postseason. But you took care of that. But you still needed a lot of things to happen. For instance, you needed the Dolphins to lose in week number 16 to Buffalo, which was a distinct possibility. I said I didn't want to be the team that had to go to Buffalo in week 16 to win. And they didn't. So they lost. Check. You also needed the Ravens to lose in week 16 against the New England Patriots. And they did. Check. You also needed to win in week number 16 against the Oakland Raiders. And you did. Check. Okay. So you took care of some things that needed to happen. Great. Then you go to the next week and you need all of the same things to happen once again. You need the Miami Dolphins to somehow lose to the New York Jets at home. And they did. Check. You need the Baltimore Ravens to lose in the jungle against Cincinnati. That was absolutely going to happen. That was, to me, an afterthought. It was going to happen. And it did. Check. Now, all you need to do is win, and you're in. How about that? And the Kansas City Chiefs have already come out and said, hey, we know it's AFC West family business. We don't like these guys. We don't want them tagging along in the postseason with us in Denver. But I don't have anything to play for. So if you want to go to the playoffs, go. We're not going to stand in your way. Or are we? That's why you got to love family business. Because family members don't like other family members. And they would love nothing more than to end your season on your own home field. That's what family members do. They try to wreck things for you. And so it was your job to make sure that this family business was executed the way it was supposed to be. You're at home. The Chiefs aren't playing their starters. Take care of business. Get that 6th and final wild card spot in the AFC. So let's break this game down. 11-4 Kansas City Chiefs at the 8-7 San Diego Superchargers. And Kansas City had no mercy on the opening drive. 5 plays, 80 yards, touchdown on a 17-yard now Davis run at 7-0 Kansas City. Mind you, no Alex Smith. The quarterback in the game, Chase Daniel. No Jamal Charles. Running back in the game, Now Davis. And again, Now Davis, one of my favorite players in the draft. I thought he was underrated. I said if this kid could ever stay healthy, the potential is enormous. He's a 4.3 40 guy, has blazing speed. He's powerful, runs with an attitude. He just gets hurt all the time. If he stays healthy, he's going to be one of the surprises of this draft. Lo and behold, Now Davis gets an opportunity. He's showing you what I thought he could be coming out of Arkansas in college. So it's 7-0. Kansas City. They're playing ball. Okay? They don't have their starters out there. They don't give a damn. They want to beat San Diego and send them home. This is AFC West family business. If these two teams said they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, well, that's family business. So, San Diego responds with a 5-play touchdown drive of their own, going 78 yards, capped by Ladarius Green, 22-yard touchdown at 7-0. Look, I say this all the time. LG, life's good when you get the ball to Ladarius Green. LG, get him the football. This guy is a mismatch nightmare. At 6'6", he's bigger than everybody else on the field. At 255, 60 pounds, he's not supposed to be as fast as he is, but he is. And he's bigger than the safety. He's bigger than the linebacker. He's faster than the linebacker. He's faster than the safety. Throw him the football. They did that on this play. And there was pressure in Phillip Rivers' face. I don't even know how he got this ball off and got enough on it to get it to Ladarius Green. But he did because it's Phillip Rivers. And it was a touchdown, and we're knotted up at 7. So the Chargers say, hey, I see what you're doing, and I understand what you're trying to do. Stop it. Stop it right now, Kansas City. We're going to the postseason. You're not stopping us. Phillip Rivers is picked off by Ron Parker. Who? Ron Parker. Who? Ron Parker, yeah. He's in the game. Don't know who this guy is. He's a backup. Yeah, he just picked off Phillip Rivers. And it leads to a 2-yard Dexter McCluster touchdown catch. It's 14-7. Look out, San Diego. Kansas City is not playing with your butt. They're not playing with you. They don't want you going to the postseason. Again, it's family business. And they don't want you tagging along with them in Denver into the postseason. If you want to go, you're really going to have to step your game up. These backups, they're not playing like backups right now. San Diego answers again. They answer the call once again, down 7 with a 10-play, 80-yard touchdown drive as Gates hits pay dirt from 3 yards out. It's 14-all. So San Diego realizes, man, these guys aren't playing around. We better step it up. And they do. They knot it up at 14. But Kansas City, not to be outdone, these guys are playing hard. And the team smiling right now is the Pittsburgh Steelers because they didn't expect this. After they found out Kansas City was resting a lot of their starters, they expected San Diego to take it to these guys. And for Kansas City to come out and perform the way they had early on in this game, you got to feel like we got a shot. If you're the Steelers and their fan base, you got to be sitting by the TV screen saying, man, we got a shot here. These guys are playing ball. Kansas City dominates San Diego on the ground on this particular drive on an 88-yard touchdown drive. 66 of the 88 yards coming on the ground, including a 2-yard Now Davis touchdown run. It's 21-14. Kansas City at the half. Look, these guys are not playing around. And even Chase Daniel got involved on this particular possession running the football. This guy took off for about a 30-yard gain. I mean, he was showing a little bit of speed. Had a flashback to his days at Missouri when he used to run the football. Look, San Diego. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know if you thought you could just show up and Kansas City and their backups were going to lay down for you and you were going to waltz into the playoffs. I don't know what's going on. Look, I'm not here to figure all of that stuff out. I do know this. You better wake the hell up, okay? The postseason is right here in front of you. It's dangling in front of you. And all you got to do is reach out and grab it. But right now, I don't know what's going on, but you're playing like you're entitled to something. Like somebody owes you a playoff berth. Nobody owes you anything right now. You better go get this playoff berth and stop playing, okay? Kansas City isn't giving you anything. You need to go and take this, okay? Down 7 at the half. San Diego said, hey, we're good. It's another half of football. They'll fade, and we'll take this game. I said, okay, look, I don't know what's going on, but you better step it up. Dexter McCluster continues to assault teams on punt returns as his big punt return sets up a Ryan Suckup 46-yard field goal attempt. It's 24-14. At this point, I'm getting a little worried because I said, look, I said 9-7 is going to get in as the 6th seed, and right now, you're not playing like you want a 9-7 team to get in. You're playing like you want the 8-8 Pittsburgh Steelers to get in. You can't let the Steelers start 0-4 and get in the back door of the postseason, can you? Really? Are you about to allow that to happen? Are you going to have 9 things that need to happen in your favor? Have 8 of them happen and the last thing needing to be you winning and you don't win? Are you going to allow that to happen? On your watch? In your building? Really? At this point, I was questioning how bad the Chargers wanted it. How bad do you want it? Because you're down 10 at home in the second half of a game that features backups. It looks like a preseason game for the Kansas City Chiefs. And you're down 10 at home. And you're playing all of your starters. I don't like the way this is going. Come on, San Diego. Wake up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Wake up. There's a playoff berth on the line. Wake up. With 11:45 in the fourth quarter, the Chargers finally get on the board in the second half with a 4-yard touchdown toss to Eddie Royal. It's 24-21. Kansas City still up in this game, but that touchdown was large because it cut the lead to 3 in this ball game. Chargers put together a 9-play, 67-yard drive to save their season and tie the game up at 24 with a 22-yard field goal with 3 minutes left. It's a little disappointing here because you get all the way down to the 4-yard line with the season on the line, a chance to get a playoff berth, you need to score a touchdown. Now kick a field goal and tie the game, score the touchdown, take the lead 28-24, make the Chiefs have to drive the length of the field to tie the game or to win the game with a touchdown. That's what you needed to do here. Instead, you bogged down at the 4-yard line and had to settle for a field goal to tie the game up. And with 3 minutes left, the Chiefs had ample time to take it right down the field and get in the field goal range and win this game. And that's exactly what they did. Chiefs get in the field goal range with 8 seconds left from 41 yards out. Ryan Suckup has an opportunity to put you out of your misery, to handle some family business, and to put the Pittsburgh Steelers at 8-8, a team that once started the season 0-4 into the postseason. And there are so many different things that happened on this play. You know, the NFL comes out later and says, yeah, they lined up illegally, did the Chargers. They loaded up one side. You can't have more than 6 players on one side of the ball. They had 7, and they should have been flagged and should have got another opportunity. No. Okay, look, the football gods had this go the way it was supposed to go. Okay? You are in position to win the game with a 41-yard field goal. Look, in the National Football League, 41-yard field goals are supposed to be automatic. You're supposed to knock those home. Okay? So Ryan Suckup is supposed to make that field goal. He missed, and I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear about what was supposed to happen, what didn't happen. He missed. If the Steelers wanted to get in, again, don't rely on anybody else to do your own dirty work for you, okay? You want something done right, you got to do it yourself. And you're relying on somebody else to help you out. Nobody wants to hear the excuses. Ryan Suckup should have made the field goal, but he didn't. Okay, from 41 yards out, he is no good. Pushes it wide right. Chargers live to fight for another quarter. Their season still in the balance. This game goes to overtime. And in overtime, Chargers win the toss. They get the football first. But that drive flames out quick. And I mean fast and in a hurry. And so they got a punt. 4th and 2 from their own 28-yard line. Kansas City's going to get the football back with a chance to win in overtime. They're going to get a chance to win with a field goal. But the Chargers say, you know what? Our season's on the line. The Chargers defense wasn't really stopping the Chiefs offense. And he said, Mike McCoy said, I don't know if I want to give the ball back to Kansas City in overtime with a chance to win with the field goal. I think I'll take my chances faking this field goal. That's a big play. I mean, that's a hell of a risk. Because if you don't pick it up, 4th and 2 from your own 28, literally, turnover on downs, the Chiefs could walk onto the field and kick a field goal from 45 yards and win the game. So, I mean, that's a big risk. But they fake it, snap the ball to Eric Weddle. Now, here's another controversial call in this game. When was forward progress stopped? Was he down? Did he fumble the ball? Was that supposed to be a touchdown by Cyrus Gray? Look, again, the football gods had this game end the way they wanted it to end. All right? Forward progress was ruled to be stopped after he picked up the first down. He was ruled down. Helmet comes off. Once the helmet comes off, play stops. He still had the ball before the helmet came off. So they have the ball. It's a first down. Look, I didn't think he picked it up at first. I had to watch the replay 3 times to actually see where he was in conjunction of where the ball was, when did the helmet come off. When it was all said and done, I think the right call was made. You're pulling teeth if you want to go and you want to nitpick and try to find a way to give the ball to the Chiefs in that situation. Look, he got the first down. And even with that first down, they're at the 30-yard line. You still got a chance to get a stop if you're Kansas City. But they didn't. They let the Chargers move the ball all the way down into field goal range, ultimately allowing Nick Novak to kick a field goal. Chargers are up 27-24, but the Chiefs get a chance to tie the game up or win it with a touchdown. So, Chiefs get the ball, and they move it into Chargers territory. They get as far as the Chargers 36-yard line. So from there, we're talking about 52-yard field goal. 54-yard field goal. If they don't lose another yard. Now, mind you, Suckup has missed from 54. Don't know if you trust him making a 54-yard field goal. However, it's worth a shot. But the Chargers D stepped up at that point. The very next play after they got to the 36-yard line, 1st and 10, they stopped the Chiefs for a 5-yard loss on the ground, pushed them back to the 41-yard line. So it's 2nd and 15. They incomplete a pass. They almost get a sack. I thought they were this close to getting a sack, forced fumble, game over. But it gets it away. It's incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 15 from the 41-yard line. They try to throw another pass. It's almost picked off by Adai, the safety. He got a great jump and read on the football. Almost picked it off. Great play by him because if he doesn't jump in front of that football, it's a completion. And they're definitely in field goal range at that point. So it was a great play. That brings up 4th and 15. San Diego gets a little bit of pressure. I thought they should have sacked him. The pocket collapsed, and he gets out of there somehow, this Chase Daniel. But him being the inexperienced quarterback that he is, this being his first career NFL start, he runs past the line of scrimmage. So even if he were to complete a pass, it would not have counted. It would have been a loss of down, and the game would have been over either way. But instead, he runs past the line of scrimmage, and he throws a pass. It's incomplete. They throw a flag. They realize the game's over, and the Chargers have stormed the field, and it's over. So they pick the flag up, and they get off the field. And the San Diego Chargers, San Diego Superchargers, avert near disaster and get into the postseason with a 27-24 exhilarating, thrilling victory at home. Much deserved. It wasn't pretty. But again, I was told by a wise man, don't be pretty, don't be cute, be good. And the Chargers were good enough in this game, were good enough this season to call themselves one of the 6 best teams in the AFC and get a ticket to the dance. And once you get a ticket to the dance, you have a chance. And that's what the Chargers have by virtue of this victory in week number 17. They needed a lot of things to happen in their favor. They needed the Ravens to lose for the last 2 weeks. They needed the Dolphins to lose for the last 2 weeks. And they got those things to happen. They needed to win. Since week 15, they had to win every single game, and they've done so, including going to Denver and winning. They beat every team in their division en route to making the postseason. They beat Denver in week 15. They beat Oakland in week 16. They beat Kansas City in week 17. They beat Kansas City in week 14. They did everything they had to do to get into the postseason. And that, my friends, is how you get into the postseason. You don't back your way into the postseason. You don't moonwalk your way into the postseason. You win your way into the postseason. And the San Diego Chargers did exactly that. And they were the best equipped team out of the Ravens, Dolphins, and themselves to get in and actually play some competent football once getting into the postseason. And so they're in, and I'm happy. I couldn't be more elated to see them get in because I know I'm going to get some good football out of this Chargers football team. Couldn't say that about Baltimore. Couldn't say that about Miami. And this team deserved to go, and they're in. It wasn't pretty. Again, it was a roller coaster ride with backups. The Chiefs gave you everything you could handle and then some. But you found a way to win. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. San Diego Chargers, the Lightning Bolts, are your number 6 seed in the AFC Conference. So the AFC West gets 3 bids into the tournament. That's astonishing. Coming from where this division has come from, being one of the worst divisions in the league, to get 3 teams in says a lot about what the AFC West is doing in that conference. And so, congratulations to the San Diego Chargers. You earned it. And to the Kansas City Chiefs, to your backups, I say kudos. I commend you. imaginary tip of the cap, you put up one heck of an effort. You scared the living daylights and the bejesus out of these San Diego Chargers. You had them on the ropes. You rope-a-doped, but ultimately you let them off the hook. Ryan Suckup connects from 41 yards, and yeah, a lot of things happened. They lined it up incorrectly, did the Chargers, and the Eric Weddle fake punt, a lot of controversy surrounding that play. Doesn't matter. You take care of your business and make the 41-yarder at the end of regulation. All of that stuff, moot point. However, you didn't, and it was only fitting. They needed to be in the postseason, and they got it. So, Kansas City couldn't have improved their standings by winning this game, and they don't. They go into the regular season or end the regular season at 11-5. They're your 5 seed. They'll be playing against Indianapolis on the road, the team that just came into their building in Week 16 and stomped the mud hole in them 23-7. So Kansas City has some work to do, okay? But they can go into Indy and win. It's going to be a very tough and daunting task, but it can be done. We'll see how that unfolds. That's going to be a great game. That's going to kick off Wild Card Weekend, first game on Saturday. So that should be plenty of fun. Meanwhile, San Diego gets in as a 6th seed. They'll be playing against the number 3 seed in the AFC playoffs, the Cincinnati Bengals. You got a tall order in front of you. That's a pretty good Cincinnati Bengals team that, oh, by the way, has not lost a single game at home all season. 8-0 in the jungle. You got to go in there and try to tame those Bengals. Good luck with that task. That's going to be a lot to ask of a 9-7 San Diego Chargers team. But I tell you what, if anybody can go in there and throw the football around and make some things happen on the road, it's this San Diego Chargers football team. So, one last time for the regular season. San Diego Superchargers are your 6th seed in the AFC playoffs. And coming in at the 5 seed, going to Indianapolis in Wild Card Weekend, is going to be Kansas City. And that's going to do it for this installment of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. It happens in the National Football League, whether big or small. We cover it all here in the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. Got one more game to break down in week number 17. The finish line is in front of me. I got one last game, and then I can cross that finish line and say I've wrapped up the 2013 regular season in the National Football League.